This is KCBD News Channel 11 at 10.
It's not about the legal process. It's more about politics right now. It's all liberals going after it.
Whether they're basketball players, baseball players, football players, congressmen, nobody's above the law.
Tonight, former President Trump is facing an indictment by a New York grand jury over payment of hush money to an adult film star before his 2016 election. Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
That story in just a moment, but first, we have a follow-up tonight in our Investigates series, Discounting Danger. Last night, we told you a Lubbock teenager filed a police report against Jamie Lee Pruett in February. Less than 3 weeks later, deputies arrested Pruett for a shooting that left 3 people injured and 1 dead. The teenager says law enforcement didn't take her seriously when she warned them about Pruett.
KCBD News Channel 11's investigative reporter Shaylee Sanders sat down with a captain at the Lubbock Police Department to find out what happened with her case. Shaylee?
Karen and Admer, we have a copy of the 17-year-old's 911 call and her police report. She says Jamie Lee Pruett came to her work where he made unwanted advances and then attempted to follow her home. Then, just weeks later, she learned Pruett was in jail for a deadly shooting. She believes officers dropped the ball, but LPD says they did investigate her case, but ultimately they couldn't move forward with charges.
911, what's your emergency?
I need help.
February 22nd at approximately 9:30 p.m.
Now he's following me and I don't know what to do.
A 17-year-old reports a customer is attempting to follow her home from work.
Okay, ma'am. Where are you at right now?
I have no idea. I'm just driving.
She eventually lost him and asked her parents to meet her here at the Lubbock Police Department, where they filed a report against 49-year-old Jamie Lee Pruett.
Police told me that I could go up to this office and get a restraining order, and said that if he ever violated that restraining order, they would arrest him on the spot.
On Tuesday, February 28th, she says her family went to the courthouse to get a protective order.
I encouraged her, my husband encouraged her as far as going up there and filing to get the restraining order. This guy needs to be held accountable so he doesn't do this to somebody else.
But when they arrived, they were told a protective order wasn't a possibility.
They told me, we can't do anything for you. We can't get you a restraining order because you're a minor.
Within a day or two, a detective with the Lubbock Police Department called about the case.
I had a detective call me and tell me that he was going to talk to him and look into him.
Then we never got any kind of follow-up, anything like, this was taken care of. Obviously, I don't believe that it was.
We sat down with Captain Leith McClure with the Lubbock Police Department and asked him what happened to the case.
Based on the information that was given to us and the detective that worked the case, he determined, based on the statute and what we have to work with in the penal code and the CCP, that this did not meet the elements.
Let's talk about what the statute says.
Harassment is going to be unwanted contact. It can be verbal, telecommunications, online, phone, however you want to describe it. But we're going to need a hard and straight line saying you want this contact to stop, and then once it continues, then we can go into harassment. Stalking, on the other hand, is going to need to be something on more than one occasion that shows that that person is intentionally following you, stalking you, or harassing you, whether it's coming up to your business, coming up to your, following you from work.
The teenager says her employer did ban Pruett, but she wishes more could have been done.
I am lucky, but there's somebody else out there who's not going to be as lucky as I was.
This teenager is not the only person who says they tried to seek protection against Pruett before the deadly shooting. We'll have more on discounting danger in the coming weeks. Karen and Abner.
Thank you, Shaylee.